right, guys. It has been a little bit, but having the first quarter recap of the season. It's a little later than that. We are just finished week 6, but I thought it was a good time to catch up to see where we're at, look at the standings, and talk about maybe a couple of trade moves. So, right off the bat, we saw that this season already is going to be competitive with every team. I mean, the records might not reflect that on some teams, but you know, outside of this week, there haven't been too many weeks where more than half the wins have been blowouts. There maybe be 1 or 2 in the first 5 weeks. This week is a different story, but it goes to show that every team maybe their record reflects it, or maybe it doesn't. But every matchup is competitive, and I think any team can beat any team at any point in the season, and we know that with our league. So, Justin, who's brand new, is going to be tied for second with a 4-1-1 record. So he's coming out with that. I don't know if I want to say rookie luck, but his team is doing well, and he's doing great as a manager for his first year. So yeah, he's gonna just stay right where he's at. Looking at the standings, he's at the 3 spot, and he'll stay at the 3 spot. Dale will stay at the 4 spot, but those two will have the same record, so they'll be tied for second. Because we have as of tomorrow, we'll have a tie for first place with Eric's team and AJ's team. They had their matchup this week to determine whether Eric stays undefeated or if Team AJ gives Eric his first loss and ties him in the records with the first place position. Now, we'll just recap where we're at after week 6. As of tomorrow, Eric and AJ will be tied in first place with a 5-1 record. Justin and Dale will be 4-1-1. I will be 3-3 and will drop a couple spots, maybe 3 spots, hopefully just 2. With a 3-3 record, Carlos will go to 3-3 after a loss this week. Adam will jump us at a 4-2 record, so he will stand alone in 3rd place with the tie with Eric and AJ for first, and the tie with Dale and Carter right there at second. So Adam got a good week's win after coming off last week. So he'll be right after them. And then looking at the other matchups to see where they would fall. Okay, looking at it right now. So Moy wins, he goes to 3-3. Joe wins, he goes to 3-3. Ray gets another loss. Alejandro gets another loss. And Efren and David as well. So those guys will stay right where they're at. But Chewy with a big win on me this week. I haven't lost by a walk since that championship match with Eric, where I lost by a walk, I believe it was. Or I needed a walk, one of the two. So with a walk that Lester gave up in the 7th, I lost the K to walks ratio, and if I would have got that had me before I lost it. We were at 8-8. Then I would have tied wins with Lester because he did win. Chewy would have dropped down a point because we would be tied in wins, and then I would have taken it 8-7. But flipped. Chewy got the win. Great week for Chewy, and so he will jump Alejandro, and he will jump Ray. Get back into the top 10. So big ups to Chewy. After the first quarter of the season, he's still top 10, still in contention with a 2-4 record. David and Efren, well, David will go 0-5, Efren 1-5, Alejandro 1-4-1, and then again, then Ray 2-4 drops out of the top 10. We'll switch. Basically, him and Chewy are going to switch. And then again, a huge bunch of ties in the records as of next week with me, Carlos, Moy, Joe, all at 3-3, and then ones I mentioned with the top 4 teams tied up. So what we saw going into the first quarter of the season is clearly, with the number of teams we have, people jumped on whatever players they could right away on free agency. I think I used my last ad today. A few people, I think maybe a couple others, not a few, in the league have used up all their ads. The majority of the league have used 3 out of the 4 ads. So, free agency was a buffet, and everybody just went at it over and over again and took advantage of whatever they could because there wasn't much left out there unless guys were having breakout years and you jumped on them. So, or surprisingly comeback years, So that's how free agency went. First 5 weeks, some guys really jumped on some good players, and we saw some trades go down. A huge trade, already number 1 pick off the board. I honestly agree with Carlos's move. Scherzer is worth a number 1 pick. It was a great trade, and with Kluber he went down, and Carlos Rodon, who were having, Kluber was having not a Kluber star, but still he's Kluber. He's a great pitcher to have. But Carlos Rodon, he was having a decent start. Winning record 3-2, and a couple of quality starts, so not bad for a guy you can put in your 4 or 5 spot with our league. And both those guys go down for Carlos, so he had to make a move, and he picked up Scherzer and traded a first-round pick. So fair trade. I don't think any of us had an issue with it, and if you did, you didn't say anything. So a lot of trades went down. I myself made a couple trades already. Gave up my first 2 picks, DeGrom and Cole, and picked up guys that I needed. I felt my pitching was not going to get it done, and sure enough, I was 0-3. But after making those 2 moves, won 3 straight, and now I'm at a 500 record with a narrow loss this week. Other people who made trades, let's look at the message board, because we did a lot, so trying to keep up with all of them. Let's go to transactions. I hope you guys had a great Mother's Day, guys, and happy Mother's Day to all of you. All your wives, sisters, mothers, grandmothers, mothers-in-laws, happy Mother's Day to all of them. And I think we're all really blessed with those people in our lives. So happy Mother's Day to all your moms. Yeah, all the moms in your lives, guys. All right, so looking at the transactions. All right, so Adam and Alejandro made a trade. Not the biggest trade, it was a move. But in terms of big name trades, we had a 3-for-3 trade with Efren and Moy. I thought that trade with Adam and David was fair, considering Trevor Bauer and Conforto, consistently good guys, and David gave up a really good guy and then an okay guy in Barnes. So, and Trevor Bauer is actually a great player, so I take that back. Maybe not having the best last couple of games, but it was a completely fair trade. And big ups to David. He picked up depth. He made a move and he got good stuff for it. So, and Adam, you gotta pay to get what you want. That's kind of the bottom line. As long as it doesn't become detrimental to your team, but if you make big moves, they're going to get critiqued and people are going to have their feedback. But if it works out for you and you didn't make the right decision, but if you are really struggling on one side of the categories stats in our league, you have to make a move because the teams that make it get production from both sides. So in our league, you have to. Every category matters because every match was usually close. But again, I thought that was a great trade. I liked how they went about it. That was real cool. So David and Adam made trade, and there's that Alejandro for first round pick. Alejandro got the first round pick from Carlos, and then me and Alejandro made a pick. I made a trade. Sorry. Haniger and Leake for Jesse Winker and Bumgarner. And me and Eric made a trade. So I made 3 trades, I think, this year. And let's see. I don't want to recap too much in every detail. I want to wrap up this quick recap little audio podcast. After this, yep, there's the me and Dale trade. And then Joe and Eric, CC for Vasquez kicked it off. So, well, actually, no, on draft day. You guys made a trade on draft day. So, anyway, the first quarter of the season has been really fun, guys. The group me conversations are great. Shit talking is great. So let's keep it up. And those who are already trading draft picks, that's pretty crazy that we're already there. So I hope you guys had a fun first quarter of the season. We're barely going to be on week 7 out of a 21-week season, so don't play fire sale now. Don't give up on your season yet. Lest we forget, Dale went like 0-4 or 0-5 last year, or some bad start, and came back and made the playoffs. So this is not the time to give up on your season already. Keep setting your lineups. It's still early on. Going into week 7 next week, so we have 13, 14 weeks in the season left. If you win 70% of that, or even 60% of that, you have a substantial chance of, being in competition for the playoffs. So I hope you guys have had a great Mother's Day again. Love you guys, and that's the first quarter recap of our season. All right, guys. Peace. See you on the next one.